Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing today? I know my uploads are late today, but I was busy today. So, grab your coffee, maybe some chocolate, because you just never know with me. And if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. All of the information is in the description box below. Contact me or Trish, okay? So we can get you started, all right? So, what we're going to be talking about today is statistics, all right? Because statistics, when it comes to this, is important. So, from the Foxtrot Bravo India, right on, website, look at the most up-to-date information that they have for how many people across the entire nation are employed to enforce lawmaker policies. And the total officers from 2019, a little under 700,000 law enforcement in all of the United States of America. This is how many law enforcement officers 697,195 are employed all across the United States of America. And I double checked this with Statista. And here we're looking at a total number of people that have a hunting license. Okay. So I'm going to put up like graphs. Okay. If I possibly can, get these pictures up for you, okay? So hang on. Let me see if I can get these pictures up here for you. Hang on. Let me see, where are they? Okay, here they are. So here's a picture, okay, of, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me find it. Okay, so this is for the hunting license, right? So, and this is what I'm going off of, is what was sent to me by a subscriber, and you all know him as Cyan, okay? Now, the total number of people that have a hunting license in any given state in America, and off of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services website, fws.gov. Now, any given state, so take a look at, say, Pennsylvania, for example. A little under 1 million, so it's 930,815. So 1 million people in Pennsylvania have a hunting license, or AKA around 1 million people in Pennsylvania are armed, okay? So, hello, wake up, McFly. Hello, McFly. Thank you, Cyan. He always puts in a movie reference because he knows that I'm a movie buff. So Pennsylvania alone is more armed. The people of Pennsylvania are more armed than all of America's law enforcement agencies combined. So I'll take that. I'll just take a guess that I don't know that this is why this part of the world is not seeing that much of bullshit yet. It just won't fly here. I just wanted to show you that, to let you know that whatever policies that small group of lawmakers in DC puts through, we are still in control. They cannot change it. Okay. Well, thank you, Cyan, for that. So he did leave a link. So I'm going to leave this link in the description box below for you, okay? So, this was this was published on September 29th, 2021, okay? And the website is called statista.com. And this is the number of law enforcement officers in the U.S. from 2004 to 2020, okay? Now, in 2020, there were 696,644 full-time law enforcement officers employed in the United States. The number of full-time law enforcement officers reached a peak in 2008 with 708,569,000 officers and hit a low in 2013 with 602,942 officers. Now, according to the source, law enforcement officers are defined as those individuals who regularly carry a firearm and an official badge on their person. So if you have like a badge, okay, because you work for a police department or a sheriff's office, you are an official police officer or law enforcement officer, okay? Like Sean, he is a law enforcement officer. Why? Badge, okay, okay, so I'm just trying to explain to you what badge, okay? So they have full powers of arrest and whose salaries are paid from federal funds set aside specifically for sworn law enforcement. Right. So, like for Sean, because he is paid from federal funds set aside specifically for sworn law enforcement. Okay? So, law enforcement, particularly when it comes to officers, is a male-dominated field. Yeah. Not very often do we see female officers. I think it would be nice to see more female officers, okay? My mom, she's a retired police officer from Atlantic City. You know, I think it's great that women want to become police officers and firemen, first responders. I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that we have a lot of female military officers as well. Law enforcement employees can either be officers or civilians, and federal law enforcement agencies cover a wide area of jurisdictions, from like the National Park Service to the Foxtrot Bravo India, right on. So the police in the United States have come under fire in the past few years for accusations for use of unnecessary force and for the number of people who are shot by police. Okay, in the U.S., police officers in the United States are regularly armed in comparison to 19 other countries, including Iceland, New Zealand, and Ireland, who do not regularly arm their police officers. So here's a number of full-time law enforcement officers in the United States from 2004 to 2020, okay? So I wonder, no, I can't, darn it. So from 2004 to 2020, we went from, and it fluctuates. I mean, literally fluctuates. So I'm going to hold this up. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Here's 2004 down here, and then it goes up to 2020 up here. Can you see the difference? You're probably going to have to pause. Can you see the fluctuation? Okay, so you can see the difference, all right, in what's like with law enforcement. And now I think with law enforcement, a lot of them are walking off the job, you know, or they're being fired. And it's sad, really, especially when, like last year, when they were really, really pushing to defund the police. Why? Why? So stupid. It really is. Now, with this, there's a man by the name of Albert Biderman. I don't know if I'm saying this right. It's either Biderman or Biderman. Biderman. He was an expert on mind control tactic. He was a sociologist who studied the most effective brainwashing techniques on American prisoners of war, or POWs, okay? In 1956, he published this Biederman's report of course of methods for eliciting compliance. I know. You may want to go over the chart, okay? I have a chart that I'm going to show you, because not only is it extremely fascinating, and it has nothing to do what is going on today, of course, but I'm hoping that sharing it with you can help you realize and recognize these techniques and potentially help you prevent your own brain from being washed without your knowledge or consent. And as a side note, for you who are unfortunately familiar with tactics from within domestic violence in home and relationships, or who have a really controlling narcissist in your life, you may find and recognize some of these techniques yourself. So Cyan had wrote this up for me, okay? So I am just reading to you what he says, okay? I don't have a narcissist in my life, so don't worry. Sean is a perfectly awesome man, okay? Because they are not only used by governments, but they are used by any abuser who wants to control their victim, which is true. Have you ever heard of the term gaslighting? If you haven't, please Google it. Gaslighting is something that a narcissist will do to their partner or victim, if you want to say that like that, and blame them for everything that has ever gone wrong in their lives. It's awful. So if you have ever known someone who is like trapped in domestic violence and you're like, all you have to do is this and go here and get out, trying to convince them, and they have and they just stay in it and they don't want to leave, and they wind up defending their captors, it's because they're dealing with it, the brainwashing. If you want to know what I'm saying, I understand exactly what he's saying, okay, because I've seen it with family members, okay? So this Biederman presented this report at the New York Academy of Medicine in 1956. And one of the many books, as a side note, he wrote was called The Manipulation of Human Behavior in 1961. It's out of print right now, but check this out. This book, pull it up on Amazon, okay? Look at the price on this, $597.49. Just like you guys were looking for that Sarajevo book and some whack job was trying to sell it for $800, okay? So perhaps they're not eager for everyone to be able to afford to get this kind of information at their fingertips. So look at Biederman's chart. Okay, I'm going to put it up. Of the coercion of the PDF, so that you can take a look at these 8 tactics and become familiar with how they are being used to break the will of individuals so that it won't happen to you. So hang on, I'm going to go get that chart. Hang on. Okay, so here it is. Try and get that to focus in. Is it focused in yet? What it says is, okay, this is the chart of coercion, okay? A tool designed to demonstrate and explain the coercive methods of stress manipulation used to torture prisoners of war. It has been applied to explain the coercive techniques used by perpetrators of domestic abuse. This list directly reflects the original chart. It has not been changed to fit the domestic abuse context. Isolation is the method. Okay, I'm going to go through the method, then the effect and purpose, and then the variance, okay? Method: isolation. Effect and purpose: deprives victim of all social support of their ability to resist. Develops an intense concern with self. This could be home environment, makes victim dependent. Variants: complete solitary confinement, complete or partial isolation, group isolation. Next method: monopolization of perception. Effect and purpose: fixes attention upon immediate predicament, eliminates information not in compliance with demands, punishes independence and or resistance. Variants: physical isolation, darkness or bright light, restricted movement, monotonous food. Method: humiliation and degradation. Effect and purpose: makes resistance more costly than compliance, animal level concerns. Variants: personal hygiene prevention, demeaning punishments, insults and taunts, denial of privacy. Method: exhaustion. Effect and purpose: weakens mental and physical ability to resist. Variants: semi-starvation, sleep deprivation, prolonged interrogation, overexertion. Method: threats. Effect and purpose: creates anxiety and despair, outlines cost of noncompliance. Variants: threats to, threats of abandonment and return, threats against family, vague threats, mysterious change of treatment. Methods: occasional indulgence. Effect and purpose: positive motivation for compliance, hinders adjustment to deprivation. Variant: occasional favors, reward for partial compliance and promises. Method: demonstrating omnipotence. Effect and purpose: suggest futility of resistance. Variant: confrontation, showing complete control over victim's face. Method: forcing trivial demands. Effect and purpose: develops habit of compliance. Variants: enforcement of rules. So this I've seen with in my own family when it comes to abusive spouses. And this right here is gaslighting to the utmost extreme. I've seen it. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. I'm just thankful that I've never had to endure anything like that. If you've ever endured anything like this, please reach out. I will help you in any way that I can. There's always a way to get out. Always. Never think that you're alone. Okay, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless.